Hey everyone, Coops here from the whole box and dice Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power. Let's get into another one of these booster boxes. Cracked the SPR out of the first one. That was pretty awesome. Love the art. Love the direction that they've taken the SPRs in. Hopefully there's some good stuff in here. I can now confirm that there are God packs in Tournament of Power. Obviously, assumed there was going to be some, but always nice to have that confirmation. But very, very excited to keep cracking this set. Seeing a lot of great brews out there. I know like sites like DBS Decks and stuff already got all the cards up there. So if you want to play around with some of the archetypes, strategies of Universe 7, that card is just going to be absolutely nuts, as is the hit that we just saw. And I really like they've put some extra cards in for, there's the U7 Saiyan Prince Vegeta. I like they've put in a lot of like counter cards and a lot of the 10k combo card tags, like even like the Universe 9 stuff, so even the stuff that I don't think is going to be like super competitive. I like that they've added like just gone that extra level of detail, and they probably had to be honest, given that it is a smaller set. They have a bit more flexibility, and I think that's probably why we saw some stuff like the Frost Chain get some legacy support, and there's a result of training Son Gohan for us. Still looks like you're getting the 7 SRs in a box as well, so I'm really glad they didn't do anything with the ratios. Given that they're selling the set at full retail, kind of makes sense that it all just runs the same, I guess. But we're into our next pack here, and looks like a Shining Blast is coming up. Oh, that's the Agony of Hell Freezer in foil. Majin Buu full of energy. We've just had some, obviously, big events happen over the weekend. I watched the Hernandez deck tech just last night on the veggie package with the Broly in Ginyu, and it's an interesting deck, that's for sure. I played against that deck on Tuesday night at my locals, and it's a really interesting one. I still play Miracell predominantly, and Focus Mind Piccolo is going to be our rare out of this pack, and the Miracell matchup is a really interesting one against the Ginyu veggies and Ginyu green, yellow, good stuff, whatever you want to call it, just because for them to play Carba turn 2, if you go first, then you're at the mercy of being cell chained. So it's a interesting, I guess, it's an interesting battle for them as we get the Spirit Bomb Son Goku here, because you obviously want to get Carba online because so much of your strategy revolves around being able to, Shigesh Kales in and having that cost reduction and getting that board presence. But at the same time, if you have to meet that double green requirement, you're also having to charge something in yellow, and sometimes that's planet for them. So it does present them with an interesting matchup, having to go up against the threat of the turn 3 cell chain. I didn't actually have the cell chain on turn 3, but my opponent still... Oh, okay, that's back-to-back same rares. My opponent still had to respect it, so it is a mind game in itself, which I really like. So I think Miracell will still be pretty competitive going forward. I think as we see more and more, I guess, leaders move away from the set 1, set 2 stuff, and I think Cold Bloodlust is a large part of that. And even though Anthony won a big tournament with it, I still think you're at a Absolute Justice Jiren. I still think you lose a lot of value from your leader, being the early leaders. Obviously, Ginyu Self-Awakening is a huge ability, but I see people still trying to hold on to Vegeta, for example, and even making claims that Vegeta is better than Masked. And look, I understand, like, you might have won some games on Octagon, and you might be 4-0ing your locals at the moment, but I don't think that Vegeta deck is better than Mars Saiyan. The fact that, there you go, back-to-back SRs is in same one. Just the fact that you can get that bonus 5k on both swings, it does more work, in my opinion, than Vegeta. It also complements the OR strategy a lot better. I think Vegeta is still a really fun deck in the all-out, kind of like turn 2, turn 3 kill deck. And whilst Mask can go that fast, it can also control, if I can actually open this pack, it can actually control the game for a few more turns after that, where Vegeta does become a little bit more vulnerable, given that obviously you can't tap any more life away. It gets to a point where even tapping yourself down to 2 life, for example, sets you into that awkward double strike lethal kill range. So plenty of good stuff out there at the moment, and we're seeing just some very, very interesting cards come out of Tournament of Power. I know people are very keen for Hit, and they're very keen for Beerus, for example. I think there's some really great cards. Obviously, the SCR was a little bit disappointing. I think the line that you have to set it up with is kind of insane. Destructo Disc Krillin. My issue is that the effect is amazing. Like straight up win the game, sure, awesome. Deal damage, win the game. It's like, it's like death touch to your opponent's life kind of thing. But the fact that it requires such an insane setup, you can just block it, or you can just combo over it, as we get a foil Kale there and a Margin Boo full of energy. That I just don't like. And I like that they're trying to take the ultimate card a different way. I think they probably could have almost made the Jiren SR the ultimate card. I think that probably could have worked. And the fact that it has the U7 Goku tag, for obvious reasons. Oh, there's the Freezer that we had the SPR of. It's got a lot going on that card as well. Obviously, they need the U7 tag on it, because otherwise you're casting like Ultra Instinct Sign, for example, bouncing the board, then going over the top. But you almost need like to be running 2 Goku chains to get both Sign down and then the SCR on another Goku evolution, just so you get a clear board. And that's obviously way too much setup, and that's not going to be reliable enough. So interesting to see. I'm sure someone will be trying to make the SCR work, because it is a powerful card. But the more and more I look at it, the more I actually wonder if they're all actually going to be Goku chains, or Goku kind of top end finishes. I actually wonder if you could get away with running multiple ultimate cards, because I'm not actually sure it makes the deck a powerhouse, just given what some of the other decks can do well before it. But maybe having 3 and then 4 and 5, depending on how many. But maybe you could have only 4 copies, as in single copies, True Form Ganas here, of a SCR card, like with Ultimate. Obviously not multiple copies of the same card, but they do require different strategies, so it would be difficult to house them all in the same deck, but at least you get some kind of different options. But that's just some food for thought as we crack open this tournament power box here. We get a foil Tien and a trio Basil. I looked at the Paw Patrol stuff. I've played a few games with it on Octagon now. It's a very funny deck. It's a very, very funny deck. I've seen people starting to play it with Freezer kind of thing, and obviously you've got cards like the Dangerous Triangle that we see at the front of this pack here, and there's another Krillin. So as you see, like, we're getting a lot of the same rare and even occasionally double SRs, and that is just because it is a smaller set. There are less cards to pull from. They probably could have fit black in this. I didn't understand this, like the symbol on the both the top left of the booster boxes, and as you can see in the bottom right, it does have the Overrealm symbol on these cards. There's our SR Ribrian, but there's no black cards. There's no Overrealm in the set. So I found that a little surprising, that it's still kind of technically part of the OR block, I guess, as per the card classification, but they don't have any Overrealm cards. So maybe a missed opportunity. Would have added, there's the Kale, would have added a few extra cards, I think, to the set, obviously, and that probably would have just made the pull rates a little bit healthier as well. I guess we're also seeing sets without rare leaders in it, so that is a combination on a smaller set as well. So you're going to see more repeats, because they would be normally taken up by the leaders, even if you were only just getting one of each leader in every box, which seemed to be about the standard. There's that Focus Mind Piccolo. Just I don't know. I don't get it. Shout out to Bandai. Where's Piccolo leader? Like I said in the last one, is it just because there's Namekian stuff coming and there's going to be a whole set around it? Because I think people will be pretty pumped for Piccolo. I think as a younger person, Piccolo was a character I was always like, yeah, Piccolo's really cool, and then there's the 8 drop there for the SCR chain, but then Piccolo never really did anything cool. He was really cool at the start. He was super edgy, and then they were just like, oh yeah, but he just chills, and everyone else is just stronger than him now. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a shame. It's kind of sad, given that kind of that whole Namekian god kind of setup. But that's all good. We'll just let the Earth dudes take this over. But there's the Freezer there. And I must say, some of the foiling on these cards, very, very intense. To the point where, I think they're a little bit overdone, some of the foiling in the TOP stuff, especially because the SPRs, they look so clean, they look so good. That foiling I really like, but look, even Kakunsa there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on that card, and it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff happening, but 2 packs left in this one. I think we've probably got another SR to come out of this. I think we've got at least one more. If I can hold the cards properly. that Sun Gohan's going to be an interesting leader, that's for sure. I think people are going to have a lot of fun testing that out. There's a Caulifla there. And like a lot of these red, cheap, 4 cost or less saying cards, they're certainly going to make for an interesting deck, I think. So is there an SR in this one? I think there should be one. Once again, can't open a pack of cards. It's amazing how many packs I open, but I still cannot seem to open one of these correctly. Maybe we're at our 7. Maybe there's nothing left in this one. Let's have a look. About to get up to it. Maiden Transformation into, no, Ally of Justice Topo. So must have already hit our last SR for this box, but we'll get these into some kind of order for you all, so we can have a yeah. And okay, so we have actually got them all. I just had miscounted by 1. I was hoping for that follow up SPR or even the SCR would just be nice to get one on camera there. So Maiden Transformation, really like the 17. I think that's going to be an interesting card. The rest of them a little bit kitschy. Agony of Hell Freezer, you know, the Tien. The Tien I really don't get. Like, I really don't understand exactly what they were going for with the Tien. I think they were trying to make something, but it just kind of missed for me. But I do like that they're trying different things as we go through the rares here. A couple of Krillins. I think we've got at least 2 Boos in here. A couple of the Son Gokus and Son Gohans. And there's that second Piccolo. So pretty, you know, this has been pretty consistent with the rest of the boxes that I've opened in terms of like pull rate wise. It does actually seem like this Goku could be a little bit rarer. The 8-drop, you know, the Vegeta I've pulled plenty of, and I think I've seen Jiren in a lot of boxes as well. So normally it's pretty easy to kind of map them all out. It's not too difficult, but that's going to be the end of this one, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the Preface of Recovery Son Goku that we're giving away. There'll be 1 day left or 1.5 days left by the time this video goes live. But hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this one. Subscribe if you are new. Check out some of the other Dragon Ball Super stuff. I've got a few deck techs up on the channel now, plus some openings for Tournament of Power. My name is Coops. This is the Whole Box and Dice. Thank you again for watching. Peace.